On March 12, 2026, in the south side of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a routine police encounter turned into a situation that quickly became difficult to control and ended in a way no one involved likely expected.
Mr. Otto, he's in the back. Get out!
Jonathan Otto, a 35-year-old man from nearby Germantown, was sitting behind the wheel of his white flatbed tow truck that morning with his girlfriend, Emily Hernandez, in the passenger seat. His background included prior contact with law enforcement, and on that day, officers had come to locate him for an active parole violation warrant, along with recent allegations tied to his name. A 46-year-old officer with more than 21 years of experience approached the truck in full uniform and instructed Otto to step out so he could be taken into custody. But instead of complying, he did this.
Get the Get out! Shit! You better stop! Stop!
The situation remained unstable, with the officer still holding on and the vehicle continuing forward, and it was not clear how it would end or whether it could be brought under control safely.
He did it! I don't stop! Stop it now! I don't stop! So you got this! Stop it! I don't first shoot you! Stop! Are you done? Continually, shots fired! Send medical!
Then, near the area of 15th and Grant Street, after those commands were not followed, the situation came to a sudden stop. A single gunshot was fired. The truck slowed and came to a stop shortly after. Jonathan Otto was pronounced dead at the scene. Emily Hernandez was not physically injured, though she was taken to the hospital as a precaution. The officer sustained minor injuries, received medical treatment, and was placed on administrative leave, which is standard procedure in cases involving the use of force. In the days that followed, Emily Hernandez later said that Otto had been scared and did not want to return to jail, and that in her view, the situation did not have to end the way it ddid.
Jonathan isn't innocent, but this was not for him to get shot or die. Jonathan didn't say a word. The officer just, all he told him was, "I'm gonna kill you," and took out his gun and shot him in the head.
Otto's family, including his mother and sister, expressed strong disagreement with how the incident was handled, with some describing the shooting as unjustified and questioning why force was used while the officer was still attached to the moving vehicle. The Milwaukee Area Investigative Team, led by the West Allis Police Department, began an independent investigation. As of now, that investigation is still ongoing. No final decision has been announced, no charges have been filed, and there has been no public information about any civil settlement. Looking back, it is the kind of situation that many say might have been handled differently, but in the moment, it unfolded quickly and under pressure, leaving one man dead, a family searching for answers, and an open question about what could have been done differently that morning. On March 27, 2026, a school bus from the Clarksville-Montgomery County School System was traveling along Highway 70 near Cedar Grove in Carroll County, Tennessee, carrying around 24 eighth-grade students from Kenwood Middle School, along with teachers, all on their way to what was meant to be a special STEM field trip. The students had spent weeks working together to build an electric race car, and that morning they were heading to the Green Power USA Toyota Hub City Grand Prix in Jackson, a chance to compete and show the results of their effort, something they had been looking forward to for a long time. The weather was clear, the road was a normal 2-lane rural highway, and nothing about the drive seemed unusual as the 2024 Bluebird school bus moved steadily along the route. But as the bus continued forward, something slowly began to go wrong.
Oh my God! Oh my God! God!
Within seconds, the bus entered oncoming traffic and collided head-on with a Tennessee Department of Transportation dump truck. The force of the impact pushed the bus forward, where it then struck a Chevrolet Trailblazer before leaving the road entirely. Inside the bus, the impact threw students and teachers forward. Unlike many modern vehicles, the bus was not equipped with seatbelts, and the sudden movement caused immediate confusion and panic as the vehicle came to rest against a tree. Two 13-year-old girls, Zoe Davis and Ariana Pearson, lost their lives at the scene. More than 20 others were injured, with several in critical condition and taken to trauma centers by air. The bus driver, Sabrina R. Ducksworth, was also seriously injured and required surgery. People nearby, along with parents who had been following the bus, rushed in to help, working alongside teachers to pull students out and assist until emergency crews arrived. As of now, investigators from the Tennessee Highway Patrol and the National Transportation Safety Board are still working to understand why the bus left its lane. Some have suggested a possible medical issue involving the driver, but this has not been confirmed. In the days that followed, the parents of Zoe Davis filed a lawsuit against the driver and the school system, raising concerns about possible fatigue, distraction, training, and the absence of seatbelts on the bus. The case is still in its early stages, with no final outcome yet. As of March 29th, one student is still hospitalized at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, while 8th grader Bryson Reagan is recovering in a Memphis hospital with multiple broken bones. Doctors expect him to walk again in about 6 weeks, though he says losing his close friends has been equally painful. For many people, this incident has raised broader questions about school bus safety, especially in places where seatbelts are still not standard and where small factors can quickly turn into something much more serious. What was meant to be a day of learning and excitement for a group of students became something else entirely, and for their families and community, it is a moment that will not be forgotten. On March 24, 2026, just after midnight, in the Hiram Clark neighborhood of southwest Houston, a man in his 20s named Leonte Wade, also known as Leon, found himself going through a night that would quickly spiral out of control. You see, the Hiram Clark area is a typical southwest Houston residential neighborhood, full of family homes along streets like Ingomar Way, usually peaceful even in the early morning hours. However, this man had just escaped a violent family feud with his own brother that had spiraled out of control the afternoon before. After a brutal physical fight between the brothers spilled out into the street, leaving Leon badly injured and bleeding from the head, he began desperately going door to door in the middle of the night, looking for help.
Help me, please. Help me, please. Call 911. Please. Please. Help, please.
We can call
911.
Hey, we cannot.
Call 911.
We'll call 911. We'll call 911.
Call 911, please. Please. I'm bleeding.
Hey.
He bust me in my head. Come on, bro. Please.
All right.
Please.
He then ran to another residence on the same block, and in his desperation to find safety, he kicked in the door and forced his way inside. The homeowner, suddenly confronted with a forced entry in the dead of night, reacted instantly by shooting Leonte Wade multiple times. Leonte was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. As of today, there's no official word on any settlement or final verdict regarding the homeowner's actions, but multiple reports confirm the homeowner has not been charged. Investigators have said the case will likely go before a grand jury to determine if the shooting was justified under Texas self-defense laws. Kenneth Marriott Jolivet Jr. has since been arrested and now faces 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping related to the earlier hostage situation with his parents. He is scheduled to appear in court on April 7th. Their mother, Shirley Jolivet, later described how Kenneth Marriott Jolivet Jr. had allegedly held her hostage for 6 terrifying hours, binding her, beating her, whipping her with extension cords, and making death threats against the whole family in an attempt to lure Leon and their father there.
Both were smoke shops. They both had smoke shops. And they just tied me up and held me hostage for 6 hours. Beat me. He beat me. And I got bruises and he whipped me with extension cords.
It was lucky that Leonte Wade survived the initial shooting, though his full recovery details remain limited in public reports. Otherwise, the outcome could have been far worse. While it's still unclear exactly what led to every split-second decision that night, the Ring camera footage and family statements paint a tragic picture of one brother's frantic pleas for help that went terribly wrong. In the end, Leon survived, but the night left behind a situation that raised difficult questions about safety, fear, and how people react when something unexpected happens at their doorstep. On March 22, 2026, Air Canada Express Flight 8646 was on its final approach into LaGuardia Airport in New York after departing from Montreal, a routine late-night flight that, for everyone on board, seemed no different from any other. That night, around 11:45 p.m., the weather was misty and rainy, and a Bombardier CRJ-900 operated by Jazz Aviation was cleared to land on runway 4. At the same time, a Port Authority rescue and firefighting vehicle, known as Truck 1, was moving across the same runway to respond to another aircraft that had reported an issue. Both movements were cleared, but they were now on the same path. The aircraft, flown by Captain Antoine Forrest and First Officer Mackenzie Gunther, touched down normally and began its rollout along the runway, slowing as expected. For a few seconds, everything appeared under control. Then the situation changed.
Ground Unit 2384 is declaring an emergency. The flight attendants in the back are feeling ill because of the odor. We will need to go into any available gate at this time.
Okay, roger that. Hey, this is Ed again. Do you guys have any gate for United? Because now he's declaring an emergency. They want to get out. Yeah.
Let me ask them. I'll call you right back.
Okay, roger that.
Jazz 646, the border.
Yeah, with you for GLS 4 for Jazz 646.
646, number 2, clear to line 4.
Close to land number 2 for Jazz 646.
And 2384, do you have a gate available at this time? Otherwise, we will be probably requesting air stairs.
Give me 1 second.
2384.
Stand by, United. Who's the vehicle needed to cross the runway? Emergency vehicles calling on ground, or are you calling on tower?
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop. Truck 1, stop. Sorry, Truck 1. Stop, Truck 1. Stop, Truck 1, stop.
4195, we're staying here.
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jazz 646. Jazz 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here, just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around, Delta 2603.
LaGuardia Tower.
Tower, Carnan's to reiterate, LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time. No aircraft in or out.
Okay.
Air traffic control suddenly realized that the aircraft and the fire truck were converging in the same space, and urgent instructions were given over the radio, calling for the truck to stop immediately. But by the time those calls were made, the distance between them had already closed. The impact crushed the nose of the jet and overturned the vehicle, causing heavy damage to both. Both pilots were killed in the collision. A flight attendant was thrown from her position while still strapped into her seat, but survived with serious injuries. Passengers and the firefighters inside the truck were also injured, though most were later treated and released. Investigators are still working to understand exactly how this happened. Early findings suggest that several small issues came together at the same time. The fire truck was not equipped with a system that would clearly show its position. The airport's monitoring systems did not give a warning in time, and communication between ground movement and aircraft operations may not have been fully aligned. Incidents like this show how closely everything in aviation depends on timing and coordination. Even when systems are in place and procedures are followed, small gaps can overlap in a way that leaves very little room to recover. In this case, many people survived, which could have been very different if the impact had occurred at a slightly different moment or at a higher speed. On March 23, 2026, 37-year-old Eric Valencia walked out of the Azusa Police Department in California after being released from custody, carrying his personal belongings and a phone, just like anyone would after a routine release, and at that moment, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Eric had been arrested 3 days earlier on suspicion of DUI and child endangerment after being stopped with his 2 young sons in the car, but after processing, he was released and allowed to leave on his own. As he stepped outside the station, surveillance later showed him walking toward an out-of-service patrol SUV parked nearby, a vehicle that had been taken out of rotation and left in the lot awaiting maintenance. He opened the rear door, got into the back seat, and closed it behind him. There was no sign of panic, no visible struggle, and nothing that would have drawn immediate attention from anyone nearby. But what followed went unnoticed.
For sure.
What's his name?
Eric Valencia.
The 23rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
looks like he's decomposing. He just looks
Where is it?
In the back of the unit right here.
Back to this one?
Yes, the back seat. Should be open. Sorry?
Are they open? You just like got in there?
I have no idea. I just got out here. He actually, where'd he go? So he actually discovered them. I just got here.
Okay.
Yeah. Presumably it was open. He climbed in. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
For the next 3 days, that same vehicle remained parked outside the station, while officers and staff passed by it multiple times, unaware that Eric was still inside. It was only when a civilian employee approached the SUV to prepare it for maintenance that the situation became clear. The door was opened, and Eric was found unresponsive in the back seat. Despite having his phone with him the entire time, there were no records of any emergency calls being made. At this point, the exact cause of death has not been officially confirmed. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner Coroner completed an initial examination, but the final determination has been delayed pending toxicology results and further testing, which may take weeks or even months. His family has since spoken out, asking for answers about how something like this could happen outside a police station and why no one checked the vehicle sooner. They have brought in legal support, including attorney Lee Merritt, who has stated that basic safety steps may have been missed. The case has also raised wider questions about procedures around out-of-service patrol vehicles, especially those left unlocked and without any internal way for someone in the back seat to get out.
They didn't take us serious when we were clearly telling them, and come to find out that he was here in a car. The whole time, he's a good person. and he didn't deserve to go like this. And we want answers and justice for him.
Without the surveillance footage, it is possible that the timeline of events would have remained unclear, leaving even more unanswered questions. The department has acknowledged that the vehicle should have been properly secured, and that regular checks may not have been carried out as they should have been. As of now, an internal investigation is ongoing, along with a review by an independent firm, and the findings have been submitted to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Justice System Integrity Division. There has been no final resolution yet, and no confirmed outcome from either a legal or investigative standpoint. What remains is a situation that raises difficult questions, not only about how Eric Valencia ended up inside that vehicle, but also how he remained there unnoticed for days in a place where people were constantly present. On a morning not long ago, after waking up around 4 a.m. and driving for hours under what looked like perfect weather conditions, experienced wingsuit flyers Gabe and Natalie finally reached a remote mountain launch site high above a beach far below, expecting nothing more than a smooth and memorable flight through the open air. These two pilots had flown together many times before and always relied on high-quality helmet intercoms to stay connected during flights. However, as they stood at the edge, strong turbulence had begun to build. Logic said they should hike back down, but the early start, long drive, and ideal forecast had them feeling committed, so they decided to jump anyway. But as soon as they launched into the air, this happened.
Go!
Shit. Baby, are you okay? Can you feel anything? Hey.
He immediately called emergency services for help. About 30 minutes later, a helicopter arrived, and nearly 2 hours after the impact, the rescue team carried out a careful extraction to bring her down from the mountain.
Okay, I'm calling. Ciao, buongiorno. Abbiamo bisogno di un elicottero a Petra Longa per un paracadutista.
Help me!
Fatto male. Baby.
Yes, where are you?
I'm talking to them. They're coming, okay? Baby, they're sending the helicopter.
I'm fine.
Hey, it's gonna be okay.
Where are you?
I'm down here. They're coming with the helicopter really soon, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Natalie had suffered serious injuries, including multiple fractures along her spine and other trauma, injuries that could have easily been much worse given the height and force of the impact.
Where does it hurt?
Just my back,
Don't worry, we'll get you home, okay?
Okay. Where are you?
I'm at the landing, but I already talked to them. I talked to 2 people, and they're sending the heli. They know exactly where you are.
Over time, both of them made a full recovery, returning to normal life and eventually back to flying again, but the incident stayed with them for a different reason. Looking back, Gabe admitted that they made the wrong decision. The signs were there, and they should have turned back. In extreme sports like this, there is something known as commitment bias, where the effort it takes to reach a moment makes it harder to walk away, even when conditions start to change. And sometimes, that decision is all it takes. In this case, they were fortunate. The equipment worked, communication stayed intact, and help arrived in time. But even with experience, preparation, and the right gear, pushing through unstable conditions like this can turn what was meant to be a perfect flight into something far more serious within seconds. If you stayed till here, thank you so much. If you have any suggestions or a case you want me to cover next, just drop it in the comments.